What is going on YouTube? Hit back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XRP to US dollar. We're also going to be looking at the current coin market cap as well as DueDEX. Specifically, as you guys have known, we've been tracking what appears to be a potential uptrend within most of the major cryptocurrencies. You can see Bitcoin clearly here as an example, and you'll notice that we are coming into the end of what appears to be the uptrend as we are starting to get much closer to the resistance up top as well as the support at the bottom. It's going to finally come that we decide which direction we're going to be breaking to. Specifically, I believe we have a little bit of around 2 days left before we really see that judgment. But until then, we really have to figure out which way we decide to break. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, help out that YouTube algorithm. Follow me on Twitter at CryptoTheOfficial. This way, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can let me know over there. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. So guys, two statements before we jump into the technical analysis. The first one is obviously make sure to take advantage of the Crypto Influencers $200 Bitcoin giveaway that I'm doing here on the channel. The link is in the description down below. There is 11 days left. We have a ton of people taking advantage of this. Very nice to see that you guys are taking the opportunity because you have to be in it to win it. And then the second thing is definitely leave below the comments. Are you guys getting any haircuts during this crazy time? Because it has literally been a month now of not being able to get a haircut because everything is closed. So let me know what you guys are doing. Are you cutting it yourself? Do you have a place? How exactly are you doing that? Let me know down below. Otherwise, let's jump into the technical analysis. You guys can see yesterday's video. We said there are only 3 days left before XRP, Ripple, and Bitcoin decide to make their final judgment as we approach the apex of the uptrend and the resistance. As you guys can clearly see right here, we're getting very close. Specifically, you can see that most of the markets are actually starting to face a little bit of uncertainty. Top 10 cryptos, everything is actually down. Only about 2 to maybe 3% at most. I would mainly stick around 2%. And we really don't look too bad. This is the consolidation we needed. I do want to show you guys a couple of interesting things I did find in the markets that may actually help us better understand which direction we could be breaking to. I want to start off with Bitcoin, then we'll look at Ethereum. I know I usually don't talk about Ethereum until like the end, but I want to talk about Ethereum second, and then we'll do XRP and Litecoin. So as you guys can see, very interesting, but Bitcoin is approaching its uptrend. You can see, yes, we are currently below slightly the uptrend right here, but you can see that we've had this happen many of times in the past. We've actually closed below it one time, and we've seen many wicks below the uptrend here. So couple of factors that could happen today. Either we're going to wick below it and then wick back up and close the candle above here. We have 6.5 hours left before this candle close, as you guys can see right here. So as we get closer, then we'll be able to figure it out. I do think we need maybe 1, maybe 2 more days left in the uptrend before we get to see that big volume. But if we manage to close today's candle below this uptrend here, then we're going to have to reevaluate our positions and maybe switch to a potential short in the market. But on that note, when you look at DueDEX, the website that I use fairly often with trading Bitcoin, as we get closer and closer to the point of breakout, you guys really need to take advantage of this opportunity and use DueDEX to basically allow yourselves to short the market. Originally, when I first got into cryptocurrency, I've always heard of shorting Bitcoin, never knew how to do it. Finally figured it out. Finally, there was a website made for that, so we can buy long and sell short. It's an awesome opportunity that they offer. It's free to sign up, and I believe they are offering a $70 sign up bonus for literally just signing up to the account. The directions or the specific reasons are in the comment down or in the description down below. So check it out if you want to know exactly what you have to do. But it's pretty easy and fairly simple. That's how I got it, and it's pretty awesome. Now, specifically, what I wanted to show you on DueDEX, besides the fact that we can, short the market as we approach the potential breakout, is in the fact that, yes, when looking at the Bitcoin chart on the Coinbase account here on TradingView, we appear to be below it. But when you look at the DueDEX chart, you actually see we're not below it at all. And that's quite interesting. I know, what are you guys thinking? Okay, do we use the Coinbase one or do we use DueDEX? Well, specifically, we're using DueDEX to buy long and sell short. So it only makes sense to use DueDEX's chart for the purpose of Bitcoin. And you guys can see we don't look too bad. I was a little worried when looking at the Bitcoin chart, but when you look at it on DueDEX, we're actually trading above here. So this gives me reason to believe we're probably just testing the bottom right here. We're trading at 50 on the RSI, which means that we're getting very close to the breakout. It can be either direction, but as the support holds, as we trade above this support right here, which you can see in the past is what's happened before, we're still stuck in this channel, but the second we break above the channel, you can clearly see what has happened in the past. That's what I'm anticipating. We've set these higher lows. We're due to set another higher low right now. Support is doing very well. It's holding up very nicely. We're not even retesting it currently. There's a good chance we're going to slowly accumulate and trade back to the upside closer to the 23rd maybe. Let's see. Today's the 20th. Maybe the 23rd to the 22nd before we really retest this resistance and decide which direction we're going to break. Now, I did promise you guys that I will be buying in, whether it's buying long or selling short when the time comes. So in anticipation for that, I highly recommend you sign up with the DueDEX account. This way you guys are on the same page as me and you guys can follow the steps. Otherwise, you might get lost using another platform or another exchange. So the link to this is in the description down below. Take advantage of it, sign up. And for everybody that has me on Patreon or that doesn't have me on Patreon, you will be updated with my specific trade there, and it is going to be live, so definitely make sure to check it out there first because that's where the news is coming. Obviously, we know that cryptocurrency is time sensitive, so it's going to, with all the exporting and editing and uploading that is on YouTube, you guys are going to end up missing out, and that's why I created my Patreon so that it would help solve that problem. It would fill the gap, and it's doing a great job. We're almost at 70 people on Patreon, so if you want to get live updates on that, definitely make sure to check that out, and huge shout out to everybody that is supporting me on there. But specifically looking at this, good chance we're going to see the consolidation up, retest resistance, and then make that judgment call as to which direction we'll break. Regardless, we're going to be prepared. We have the option to sell short and buy long. So when we do approach that apex right there, we're going to know how to handle this. It's going to be fairly easy. I'm not too worried. We're not going to lose money because of the fact that we have the short option on cryptocurrency. Now, what I wanted to talk about was Ethereum. This coin has been showing some very odd signs. I was telling you guys to not pay attention to it or not pay too much attention to it because it's been trading outside of Bitcoin's chart. You can see right here with the uptrend, we're not above it, but on Ethereum we are. And then I took a few steps back and I realized this may actually be more useful information than I realized. Obviously, we're trading at around 55 on the relative strength index for the daily, but the 4 hour is where I really wanted to take you guys' focus to. So check this out. You guys can see what appears to be some very interesting movements. So back over here, this was on the 18th, literally 2 days ago, we were overbought, extremely overbought, which was obviously an indication of consolidation in the market. That is exactly what has happened. That's the crazy part. We consolidated back down to the support. It was originally acting as a resistance. Since we retested it on the 7th, it took us literally 11 days to build up the support, retest it, and break through. Now that we're finally above, we're most definitely going to be using this as what I believe is a support to bounce off of here and head up higher. That's my reasoning. With that logic, the fact that we're now at 50 on the RSI, instead of 80, it will give us the support we need to head up higher. So my concern originally was if all the cryptos decide to break bullish, how is Ethereum going to be doing so if it's already above its resistance, which is now a support, and its middle moving average? Well, we've consolidated back down. We're using it as a support now. So Ethereum's ready to burst the second Bitcoin and the other cryptos do. I thought it would hold us down as an anchor, but it's not actually, and it should actually help us break up higher when the time comes. So I'm fairly excited and fairly positive that there's a good chance for a bullish swing. I was originally bearish. I'm starting to switch to bullish, but either direction will break. We'll use the Bitcoin on DueDEX to short the currency. And then obviously DueDEX did add their Bitcoin to Tether trading pair, which is great for right now, but that gives me reason to believe that they're probably going to be adding other pairs. And hopefully if they stick with the top 10 cryptos, because Tether is literally the 4th crypto, they're probably going to be adding Ethereum and XRP because it doesn't make sense not to. That's the only two that they're missing in between the gap. So good chance they're going to be adding those. And that is another reason to sign up and take advantage of it prior to it happening. Otherwise, to move on to XRP and then end with Litecoin, you can see that XRP is having some very interesting movements as well. I mean, we can slightly tweak this more or less like that and maybe like this. that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. It's still trending perfectly. It looks like we're testing the bottom once again. We have to tweak these charts because nothing is set in stone. This is an open system. It's not a closed system, so not everything follows plans exactly. So with small corrections and tweaks, we can pretty much understand we're not breaking bearish yet. If we were breaking bearish and we were falling, we would have fallen. We would have fell all the way down to 15 cents. But with this slight correction, it shows us that we're probably going to start to head up tomorrow. I mean, for those traders that are into risk, good chance you could catch the the drift back up, maybe from the 18 cents all the way up to 20 cents potentially, and then we might consolidate back down. But that is a high risk trade, specifically because we don't know if we're going to be breaking this support anytime soon. Obviously there's a little over 6.5 or around 6.5 hours left in this candle, so we should be patient and wait as we approach the closing and the start of the new candle what happens, because things right now may not go as planned as they will when we're 1 hour or 30 minutes away from closing. So wait until the closing happens closer to, I would say, 8 o'clock the candle closes, and then we'll readjust our positions and figure out what exactly is going to happen. And then lastly, with Litecoin, the coin that's been trading out, it's very odd and peculiar that we're doing this. It's hard to say whether or not I can adjust this. I mean, I can. It is something to consider if we want to, continue to use this. This really just extends our, uptrend a little bit more. It's still possible. Clear resistance right here that we're currently battling. But if we, extend this out more, maybe there's a longer period. This now goes into mid-May. That's a possibility with Litecoin that this may happen. We may see in the next couple of days a bigger leap from the $40 support that we're at now to maybe 46 if we keep this open. Definitely let me know what you think on Litecoin. I'm not too positive with Litecoin's chart specifically, so if you guys have any questions or comments about it, definitely make sure to message me on Twitter or something. Let me know. Otherwise, that's going to wrap up today's episode, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, help that YouTube algorithm. Follow me on Twitter if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, and make sure to take part in the giveaway, which ends in 11 days if you want free $200. Otherwise, it is going to go to somebody else. But I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.